Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. I have to start off with apologizing. I built a bunch of stuff and thought I was recording, but I was not recording. So I got my airlocks built, which are the only parts of my ship that are actually pressurized right now, and that's very funny. Come on, stop lagging. Uh, I also put in a little bit of stuff in here, 2 beds, an aquarium, and a kitchen. The rest of this is going to be eventually filled up with computers and stuff as the game goes and as I figure out what I need. I also built out the aft section of the ship, which is the power section. So let me fly back through the ship here. You've got the 2 large hydrogen tanks and 8 engines, 6 reactors. This is mirrored on the other side here. The reactors and engines can easily be stacked up 3 high if I find I don't have enough power, which, with what this thing overall is going to be doing, I might find I don't have enough power. I also put in my crawl spaces. This is the uh, upper deck crawl space, which actually becomes not so much a crawl space. It's got quite a lot of space up here towards the nose of the ship. And I put in the lower deck crawl space, which can only be accessed right now by ladder, which is difficult without gravity. So I need to put a gravity generator up top. Uh, I also had my gyroscopes put in, but then I realized I'd messed something else up, had to tear out the floor and start over. The floor was supposed to be heavy armor, and I did light armor. And I didn't think about the fact that the gyroscopes were all sitting on the floor. So, mistakes all of us engineers make time and time again. I have to put the gyroscopes back in. But on the brighter side of things, that's a piece of lost content that I still have to do. And this is what I mean with this particular ladder. You can only access this through the ladder, which is why I took out the one over here. I was coming up and down a lot. Uh, so there's a bit of stuff to finish inside the lip screw here. A lot to finish outside. I have to figure out how to armor this. The red paint was me figuring out uh, about how big my landing pads can be on the roof here. Before I realized, this isn't actually the roof of the ship, but it does give me an idea of width. I can do 3 by 3 because right over here we're going to have guns defending the ship, because I don't want to go anywhere defenseless. This is much more of what the bottom is going to look like here. I'm also going to have some landing pads on the bottom of the ship because this thing's never going to land. It's not meant to land. It might dock somewhere, which port has some connections that I can use to connect up somewhere, so I would have a port landing or a port docking bay. And back here, I'm going to wind up pulling who knows how many cars. It depends on how much power overall this thing can have and how difficult it's going to be to make the cars. In any case, I think for the time being, sad that I lost the content of building the aft section and these two, because I wanted to take a break from building on the lip screw to work on something else very important. Actually, the SF02 that I'm going to be working on today is necessary to even have a chance to get started on building the lip screw. And that would be a mining vessel, which typically I would start on a connector on the ship. So actually, you know what? Yeah. Where do I have connectors at? I have connectors somewhere, I'm sure. I have just about everything else. I have to have connectors. There we go, number 9. And it's set to white right now, which is the proper color. And actually, let's just go ahead and fix this. All right, so we've got that connector there. And if you hit 9 again, you change it to the small ship connector. Go ahead and drop that on there. And it'll bounce on and be ready to lock. Go in here, lock it, unlock it, because that's really weird angle. I don't like that angle. Just give it a little nudge and try to get a better angle on the lock. It took me too long getting in there. There we go. So that's much better. So I want this thing, when it lands, to immediately eject all ore that it has on it. So I'm going to put between it and all of the cargo space a sorter. And speaking of cargo space, we need a large cargo container to be able to match up to that. Come on, work right. Thank you. So, large ports. And of course that messed up because it was forking with me the whole time. So easiest way to get these kinds of things lined up is just look straight at it. Make sure your rotation is good. And now we've got it lined up right. Okay, so I think this particular ship is definitely going to be a space only. And I want it to be able to go out, mine a bunch, and come back and drop it off for the refineries right inside here. So I think 3 large cargo containers should work fine. I'm not used to building right on top of a large ship like this. It's causing some issues. You could also see the bounding boxes to make sure that those are lined up. Okay, so let's put this over here. And there we've got all those lined up. They'll be sharing stuff back and forth. And technically I could use this same base itself for a welding ship. But let's see. Because it's in space, I would like either an O2H2 generator, or honestly, I don't think it needs that. Just a oxygen tank should be fine because it's got the mothership it'll be landing on all the time. And then we can finally go all the way back here to 9.6. What cockpit do I want to use? I honestly really like this cab cockpit. And I can line that up right there. I like this one because it's got the large port at the bottom, which I can use for multiple things. It's also got these 2 ports that run straight through it, making it easy to line up from the front when you're just looking at things. And it's got a pretty good view. This will work for a good miner. Which again is what we're making. So let's see. Definitely need to make sure it has power. So back here, 7. Let's go with the Warfare batteries because they have nice shape. And I'm going to put them near the back, but not all the way. And that's because I think I'm going to base my thrusters off of these batteries. I don't think the mining ship itself needs armor. It's just an industrial vessel. So I'm going to build it as such. So there it definitely has power. In survival, I would immediately come in and grab all of its batteries and switch them to recharge. But I'm in creative, doesn't matter. They're already full. Yep. So there's most of what you need right there for a mining ship. Now I just need my gyroscopes. Because it's a mining ship, it's going to be heavy. For the small gyroscopes, the front of it is this one right here where you've got the 2 dots you can see. So I want to make sure to have the front facing the correct direction. Even with the auto align turned off, it still messes up often. So 9 gyroscopes for 3 large cargo containers. I think that will work, but we will see. Go back here. Conveyor sorter. I like this because it's going to allow me a few more small ports, and all of the drills on a small ship like this are small port. Which, speaking of, where did I put tools? There we go. Ship's tools. I don't want the grinder of that. Yep. So I could just go ahead and put these right on there, but I think let's go ahead and extend that one out at least 1. I got in the way, tried to move out of the way, and messed everything up. Let's try again. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more drills. Again, you can look at the bounding box to make sure it's lined up. And then the reason I wanted these side ports is I'm going to go ahead and pull this up a little bit. I'm not sure if that's high enough. That's why I'm just doing one of them right now. You can build in symmetry mode, and that is very useful. I do not fault people who use that at all, but I mess up a lot when using that, so I just stopped. So I need to go up 1 more at least, it looks like. How about now? All right, and that will still allow me to see. And how far out I go with my drills here, upward or to the side, all depends on how big the rest of the ship is. So we get those 2 up. And then 2 out for another drill. Now, if I'm down here, can I still get in? Yes, and I can still see. Great, that's all I need. Okay, so I don't need as much down thrust since I'm going to be doing just space. But I do need a lot of forward and backward thrust so I can get this behemoth moving while it's full. I don't have thrusters anywhere on here. So let's go ahead and divert what I was doing for a moment to put in some of our control necessities. I want my ore detector there and my antenna behind it, facing upward just because it looks nice. All right. And now let's go ahead and get rid of the ore detector for now. For thruster, I think I'll go with the sci-fi thrusters. Now, let's see. Is that going to have enough distance between here and there that I can use the large thrust? It looks like I will. So that's exactly what I'll do. That will mean that this will be harder to get going in the first place. But I really don't mind hand mining that much to get something like this running to where I won't have to worry about mining for a long while. Okay, let's go ahead and get that down thrust in like this. The upward thrust, whoa. Speaking of thrust, that was a bit much coming over here. And now we need side to side. Overall, this ship should be capable of tunnel mining when I'm done with it. I'm going to put a lot of side thrust because I like to turn off my reverse thrusters up here and just use my side thrusters to be able, and up and down to be able to maneuver around. And a lot of that is the side thrusters. And right there. And then I guess I will go ahead and put in just some armor here to protect the cargo. Oh, nah. Nah, it's fine. I'm typically fairly gentle with my ships. Okay. How does it fly while empty? Flying great while empty. I will put more landing gear on the bottom of that too, assuming that my landing spot's going to be flat, of course. But let's go ahead and I don't know what to name this ship, so I'm just going to leave it as the SF02 for right now. And then get to my labeling. After I check the drills, are they going to give clearance to everything? I'm a little weirded out over the top here, so let's... Oh, I do have thrusters on number 5. Let's go ahead and put... Well, let's see. If I just go ahead and connect these over here, I should be able to put a T section in there without losing connection here. So let's see, I want right here. A T-junction. And I will find out rather quickly if that is going to get burned or not before I put on an additional drill. I had to go out one more. And an easy way to check and see if you're going to be burning things is jump in, hit reverse, keep an eye on it. Because it's pointing straight at it. If it's going to burn it, it's going to burn it. Jump out here. Get rid of the jump drives. I don't need those for the ship I'm building at all. Go to character tools, welder. It doesn't appear to be burning it. Let's hope that's not just because I'm in creative and it will be burning it as soon as I'm out of creative. It does look like the jet itself stops just before hitting that. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that that's good. All right. Let me go ahead and temporarily armor this over because these exist in the armored variants as well, right? Yeah. I think that will be much better. I've already got these set up. So let's see. The curved tube first. Up one, then a T. And curved, and then two straights right there. Whoops. I'm at an odd angle. That does not make it easy. All right, so there's that one. I can get rid of these armor blocks that are holding it together because they're not holding anything together anymore. Same with these. This side. I need number 6, number 4. I need a single straight going up. A T-section going out. Curved and two straights. And now that one's connected, these can come off. And then that's 1, 2, 3 out before the curved. And then the drill. And there we go. She's not much to look at, but she flies, she'll mine. I do want to put a little bit of armor on the bottom so that I have something to work from on putting in landing gear, and so that the bottom's protected from my reckless behavior. Actually, let's pull that back one and use 3. Give it a nice slope there. And do the same over here. And I could go ahead and put an additional connector there, but I'm not sure it really needs it. So let's see. These are 2 blocks tall. So the way I like doing my landing gear is very simple and straightforward. Actually, I need to put this here. I just checked and saw that it was 2 blocks tall, and I still made it as 1 block. Then under landing gear, nice little mag plate. I love those. Keeps it nice and even. And do the same thing over here real quick. Oh, it won't fit over here as well, so let's do it. The mag plate will be right next to it. Which should be fine. I went straight to it and then I tried to go off. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so now we need to drills, SF02, drills, go ahead and make that group, get those turned off out of there. Antenna, I like it to show the ship name, and I'll put that in there for right now, though I usually put the ship's name in there as well. Gyroscopes, go ahead and grab all of those. Good, get rid of them. Cargoes, I want them on inventory screen, but not the terminal. I don't like auto lock. These are used for parking. And this is very important thing for me. I like using P to park. So I always make sure whether I'm actually using a thing for parking or not, whether or not that's it. Very important. SF02. Landing gear. Don't need to look at those anymore. Conveyor sorter. I want this to whitelist. Or add. And it will be drain all. And now I no longer have to look at it, but I do want to label it real quick. Always turn these all the way up and have it labeled. Thrusters. See, I say thrusters, so I label it as thrusters in my brain. All right, so SF02 main thrust. And then I want these two backward ones, SF02 brakes. And now I can go back to main thrust and turn that group off. Don't need to see it. The batteries, SF02 battery power. Turn that one off. Get all of these turned off except for the one battery, which I'll go ahead and label SF02. This is so I can see what's going on with my batteries overall. If you're using them as a group, recharging, discharging, and whatnot, and just having them on auto, they use about the same amount of power, so you just need one of them to look at. And there we go. There's all of the labeling done rather quickly and efficiently. SF02 now shown up there. Go into the G menu. I like to set for number 1 is my brakes, so I was in the right one. Toggle block on and off. Battery power set to number 9. Recharge on and off. Main thrust at 8. Turn on and off. Gyros turn on and off on number 7. Like I said, I use P for parking. It is good to have a group for your tools as well, but first let's go to ore detector on and off on number 2, on number 4, antenna on and off. You don't want to be seen by someone. It's good to have the ability to just turn that off real quick. So now I know where it's going to go. Number 5 is turn on and off the drills. If you just want to set the drills on and walk away for a moment. But you still have your block tools group on number 3. And there we go. That's the SF02 ugly beast of a miner. Should definitely do the job though. Let's see. Before I fly anywhere, let's make sure I don't lose my ship. Yeah, that'll be fine. And let's turn off the brakes. So now I'm just able to drift around here. Very loud, not a very good view from in there. I'm able to point myself right at the asteroid if I want, and then turn as I get closer to come off of it. I don't have to worry about random drags slowing me down, because those are just completely off. And let's see how the drills work. Doesn't matter if there's any ore over here. Stone is fine. Go ahead and slow down as we approach. I still have my headlights on. Which reminds me, there are no lights on this anywhere. Couple places I see I could put lights for forward facing though. On the edges. There's a reason I haven't blueprinted it yet. It's almost complete. I guess I slowed down too early, but better safe than sorry. Get in this loud thing so I can look ahead. I can probably put a camera on the nose for a better view of this. I do not want to be inside there while I'm running those drills. They're loud enough from out here. Hit 5 to turn on the drills. I'm going to be quiet now because you're likely not going to hear me. Wait, there we go. I can just zoom back out. Ha 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 ha. Okay, is this actually giving me cargo? It is. Alright, so I'm going to wait until cargo full. There's a few other little things I can do on here too that would be fun. Like using some of the new AI blocks. Well, newish. With the way my landing gear is, I'm not sure I'll be able to mine straight through. I might need some drills underside. Fortunately, I've got those side drills there that I can add down to, or add down on. I knew I put them there for a reason. Actually, it looks like it's working. Haha. Alright, let's turn these off, back up. Turn off my dampers so I can drift for a moment. How are my cargo containers? All 3 full. That's full. How about my drills? All full. This is a completely full SF02. How long will it take it to make it 8 kilometers back to the main ship? This is much farther than I'll ever be sending this thing out away from the Lipstrew. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively turn off the brakes here. I did not put any stone ejection on this. That's because I don't eject stone. Even though it has little use, it has use. So I'm a hoarder like that, I guess. Alright, so it's taken over 2 kilometers to get up to this speed. It's going to take me just as long to brake as it does to accelerate. That's another reason for doing the large thrusters there, which I do have room for going another large thruster down, both for driving and stopping, which I very well may do. But I think I will do that in the survival game as we're playing. There's just a little bit more that I want to do to this before I call it a ship. I'm not going to save it yet because I'm hoping that somebody will have a name for this thing, but I am going to make sure that it's otherwise ready to go. I am working on slowing down this whole time, so now I'm just going to rotate. This is another reason for those side thrusters. When I'm trying to brake like this, it gives me more braking thrust. Oh, she's overloaded. I definitely need those other 2 in each direction large thrusters. I'm almost stopped, and now I can go forward. I only overshot by 300 meters. That's not bad. I've done far worse. Let's just turn off the brakes here at 13 meters per second. And come on into the ship. Because the ship's also online, we'll be able to hear the refineries chewing through all the stone. If I've got all of my spine work set up right here. Before I land, though, I want to put in these other couple of drills. Whoops, that one. Because it would just be safer and make me feel better. Again, check the bounding boxes because I almost put it forward one. Let's see. Do I have the AI blocks at all? Well, these are for the AI flight move. I don't need that. I need event controllers. So not on that page. Emotion controller and event controller. Okay. So for the cargo, we want it to tell us when it's full, and we want it to tell us when it's empty. So can I put these in a place where I can see them? From inside the cockpit? No, I can't. Well, I kind of can. I can put them right in my face. Let's check. Oh, yeah. Definitely can see those. That will work. So, event controller. I have no way to access those on the small grid. That's right. Event controller. Cargo filled percent. Number 1 is going to be for cargo full, and 2 is going to be cargo empty. So equal to or greater than, and the threshold here is 98%. All right, and we want all 3 of these cargo containers and an AND gate. So there we go. When all 3 of those are at least 98% full, it will do its thing. And for empty, equal to or less than, let's call it 2%. Because that's close enough to empty for me to go right back out. And all 3 of the cargo containers and gate. Okay, so the actions they're going to be doing. First, they'd look at the emotions. Instead of doing it that way, let's just do full and empty. All right, back to the events. Set up actions. Wrong one. Controller full. Dead. Okay. And on this one, set up actions. Empty. Yeah, we'll go with a happy face for that. And now, because I didn't do this before they were full, they did not get their update for being full. So I'm just going to go ahead and put both faces are confused. But as we were filling that up, we see that the left screen is telling me when my cargo is full. The right screen is telling me when it's empty. So let's go ahead and see if that works properly. Wow, quit lagging on me, machine. I am due for a new machine, I think. I am being very slow for those of you who haven't played this game because in Space Engineers, just like in a racing game, slow is fast. And now I can hit P to lock everything up. And it should be immediately pushing all of my cargo out. And eventually we should see it change from confused to happy. Yeah, the sorters do have a limit on how fast they can export things. So that's my bottleneck there. We'll be able to come back up and see the change in the right-hand face. The left one is going to remain confused. Oh, yes. I love that sound. And here we have the refineries are both processing lots of stone. And when you've got yield modules and everything, let me go back to here. You get quite a lot of stuff out of stone, at least the iron. Unfortunately, also gravel. And I do eventually start dumping off gravel. Because, yeah, you need a little bit of that. But that is absolutely the closest thing to useless in the game. But yeah, if you have a name for this thing, go ahead and put that name below. Because I have no clue. Okay, it's got one cargo container empty. It's now emptying the other. Or it's got two empty, and it's entering the third. That does mean that the rest of the stone should be pretty much gone out of the ship. Just about. Let's just help it along here. Go here. Small cargo. Here, cargo. Just move it. And now we've got our right-hand face is very happy because cargo is empty. Left face is still very confused because it doesn't know what's going on. Let's see. I have camera right here. If I put one right there, it's not in my view, and it will allow me to see out pretty well. And about lights. I don't have to think just about front lights either. Like, I do need my spotlights on the front so I can see what I'm mining into. But I also, yeah, that's too close. Need lights on the side and rear to let me see what's going on beside me and behind me. So let's see. Interior lights should work for those. So we'll put a couple there. Yeah, in the back one here. And yeah. Nice offset spotlights in the rear. That should work great. My goodness. Now that is an industrial ship. He's happy about it. Anyway, if you like today's video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to see more from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, have a good one.